Thank you so much for your precious time here. Thank you so much for deciding to join me today. And today I really want to talk about something that's been affecting most of us and most of the planet right now. No matter what is happening, there's always a chance we just go scrolling and seeing if anything there catches our attention. Maybe you don't even want to scroll, but you just want to check something, you just want to know or find something interesting, find something entertaining. And many times after scrolling, and for me personally, there's this weird sort of mood that comes after that. Not even mood, but like the thoughts are just weirder. The way how you see the world is just different. And of course, you might experience it completely different than me. You might feel completely different than me. But let's deep dive into what is actually happening. So when we scroll, our brain gets a lot of stimulation, new videos, new information, constant novelty. That pushes our dopamine up. Our brain goes into a kind of engaged state, but then we stop and suddenly all that stimulation disappears and our brain goes from a lot to almost nothing. And that creates a drop, a kind of calm down of dopamine. And that's what can feel like emptiness. But your brain never ever says, "Oh, my dopamine just dropped. It's not a big deal." It tries to explain it. And there's a part of your brain called the insula that is constantly checking your body signals as a data for your mood, feelings, thoughts, happiness, motivation. There are hundreds of body signals that your brain is constantly scanning. And when it scans this kind of drop, a kind of calm down, that's what can feel like emptiness because, like I said, your brain doesn't say this is a dopamine drop. It goes searching for a reason to match that dopamine drop. It just can't. So it starts looking for a reason, looking through your situations, thoughts, problems, etc., etc. And that's when everything can suddenly feel off. You might feel like really off. And you might not feel the same as me. You might have different problems, different feelings inside your soul. But what matters here is that we felt off. This theme is actually way more fascinating than this. But like I wanted to kind of summarize what is actually happening and why that is. And to be honest, I've never ever watched movies too much. But now I found something that just locks my attention. It's called The Black Mirror on Netflix. And I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. It's just amazing how it locks my attention. And why am I doing this? Because when we give our brain stimulation, it's a healthy signal. Not always a positive signal because, like I said, scrolling can be a negative type of stimulation, but doesn't always have to be. But when you busy your brain, it's actually healthy for your brain when it's done in a balanced way. When your brain goes full mode on something, when your brain finds something to do that just absorbs it, your brain reads that as a positive body signal. It helps to clear your thoughts, to make your thinking better, to make you decide better. So to summarize this, to end this, I'm not saying you should get distracted from your whole life and constantly just watch something that fully locks your attention. But what I'm saying is that doing something that locks your attention, we might think, oh, I'm thinking less about my problems. Oh, I'm thinking less about my situations. Therefore, I have less space to solve my problems. But what's actually happening there is that you give, paradoxically, your brain way more space to solve your problems and find a solution when it's there, when the answer is there, more naturally and more efficiently, way more efficiently. So it's very healthy, not just for your brain body, when it's done in a balanced way, of course, but for your thoughts, for thinking more clearly about your life. It doesn't have to always do that. But to summarize this, okay, what I'm saying is that this can be a positive body signal. Your body absolutely can read it positively, and it absolutely can help your thoughts. I'm not saying it will fix something or to do it to change your life. I'm just saying that this is something that can help. I'm not saying that it will help, but it can help. So I'm so glad I could talk to you today. I'm so glad I could hang out with you. I really enjoyed this time. Thank you so much for this space you gave me. Thank you so much for listening to me. And feel free to hang out with me even more and explore our feelings, thoughts, happiness, and life, and find out many paradoxical and mind-blowing things about our feelings, thoughts, emotions, etc. because I absolutely love exploring that. So take care, especially take care, please. And I can't wait to catch you soon.